I'm ready.
Sure.
No. Fuck this. Oh, dude, I gotta get the laugh out first.
Yeah.
It's your
First solo gig.
I got it.
You got it.
Welcome back to Jerk Block Talk. Phil Sabatini here for the Barbell Syndicate. We're going to talk to you about a very commonly used cue in weightlifting that could potentially be detrimental to your technique, and that's keeping the bar close. You hear a lot of coaches say, keep the bar close, keep the bar close. And a lot of time, it is important to keep the bar close, but there is a time and a place for it, and a lot of times it causes more faults than it actually helps, and we're going to talk about that right now. So one of the cues that we use is to push to create space. So right off of the floor, we're teaching our athletes to push their feet into the ground, to raise the bar with the shoulders and hips together, and it's really close at the shin, but by the time we get right to the top of the push before we transition to drive, now you have a little bit of space between the bar and the body. And why this is good is because now you have clearance of the hip and the knee to act without punching at the bar and pushing it out, and the body and the bar can meet together to drive upwards. Go ahead, Bryn. All right, so a lot of people take this too literally, and then they say, I'm going to keep the bar close the whole way. So what they do is they start to drag the bar up the thighs and stop right there. And you can see immediately all the weight is shifted back into the back of his foot, and he's getting behind the bar. And now there's no clearance for the hip, so even if his hips do snap through, it's going to just punch at the bar and it's going to come out forward and loop around. The other thing is that you see a lot of athletes that do this are going to jump back and throw themselves behind the bar. The only way you make that clean or a snatch is if you just accidentally move back with the same trajectory of the bar and catch it overhead. There's a couple other errors that this will cause. So not only will the bar come out this way, but more so in the clean. If this bar crashes on you every time, it's because you've lost connection with the barbell. So now the shoulders are getting back. He punches his hips instead of meeting together to drive up. The bar comes out. Now he can't actively pull down and pull himself under, so it's going to come out and around and crash on him in the bottom. It's really hard to stand up with it. So we talk about pushing to create space. So we're going to, push into the floor, and it's going to be really close at the shins, but as we continue to push into the ground and get the bar high enough for the knee and the hip to act together, now you have some space in there so the body and the bar can meet together to drive upward in a better vertical line. I miss anything, Bren?
The hip clean, early arm bend.
Oh yeah, so you'll hear this too. So it may not just be that you see it, and if people are dragging that bar up the thigh, number one, drag is slow. And so you're not going to get that snap of the hips into that barbell as you should. But you'll also get keeping it close as a cue that people will use, and it will cause this early arm bend to get it into it. And now you have no choice but to actively push the hip into the bar and kick it out. And that's where you get even more crashing on that. So again, the cue is push to create space. Allow for the hip and the knee to forcefully act together without punching the bar out, but the body and the bar colliding together to drive up into a vertical line. So put any questions in the comments. Make sure you like our page, follow our page. I'm Philly Sab on Instagram if you have any questions, and we'll see you next time.
What's your handle?
BMCD83.
And then talk about how many medals did you have at the ODU?
Yeah, just recently went to Old Dominion Classic. We had 15 lifters, 14 medals, 2 of which were best lifter awards. We're getting ready. We've got 2 lifters going to Junior Nationals in 2 weeks and 8 lifters at Masters Nationals. So we're getting primed, Got some big lifts coming up, so we're ready. Join us.
Join the goals.
Yeah, you know you want to.